Research and the Birmingham Business Alliance Board of Directors. He is also an active member of Briarwood Presbyterian Church. Mayor Brado is the 10th mayor of Hoover. He feels it is a tremendous honor to represent the citizens of this great city. So without further ado, Mayor Frank Brado.
Thank you so much. I looked over at Frances. I said, "Is that right? It is 53 years, isn't it?" She said, "I think so." We've been together since the 8th grade, really. A long time. So, you know, before I start, I never want to go without recognizing these folks here that come out and take care of us and serve us so nicely. Thank you so much. But please recognize Tanisha, Michael, Eddie, Larry, Paul, Derek, Ryan, Earl, Jermaine, Christine, Byron, and Ronnie. Thank y'all so much. Well, I appreciate everyone being here today. It's a pleasure to speak to this great weather. It certainly is a little nippy. Again, thank you for America's First Credit Union, Leanne. I appreciate your kind words and the fact that you are in our city and serve our citizens so well. Thank you. And to our chamber, y'all do just a great job, man, a wonderful event. Thank you well. And then we've had an opportunity to recognize the city employees, but I want to publicly thank each and every one of you, and they're spread out throughout the audience here, and I know that every day I see you tirelessly give of your time and your energy, not to just to do your job, but just to do it with excellence. They're all forward thinkers, they're great visionaries, and they make my job really, really easy. In the city of Hoover, I think it's very apparent what they do and how they add to that. So thank you very much. And then we have a new member. Jihad Al-Daka was our chief of operations for so many years. I wanted to introduce our operations, Blake Miller. Is Blake here? He may not be here. Blake, welcome. Blake is an engineer and served in our engineering department, and we're looking forward to all the great things that he's going to do. Earlier, John, thank you for your leadership and just to all that our council does, and they work very, very hard. I'm grateful for that, and sometimes it's a thankless job, but we push through anyway. But anyhow, thank you so much. And then we have many board members here, all of whom, they're all volunteers. They don't get paid a thing. They really take on some really, really tough issues, from our school board to our zoning board. And I just like, if there are any board members here, I think they're the most what would you say, thanked than any group in the entire city. And that's our board, because they represent, again, the school board, tough decisions, zoning board, tough decisions. Stand up and just if you're here, let's recognize you and give you a round of applause. And thank you so much for the city official, just our elected, each and every one of you, almost daily, and we could not run our city without you. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to see Mayor Stewart here. Thank you as well, coming all the way from Irondale, Alabama. We're grateful for you. And then, of course, my wife, Frances, that I just talked about. We're a team, and we're a team. Stand up, let them see. I'll let them see you. Come on. Of course, my sisters are here, my sweet daughter, who they don't hesitate 1 second to tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I appreciate that. I always like to use this time to pay special attention and recognition to some of the outstanding citizens that we have and that live in our city and just do things that we don't even know about. People who go above, I'd like to honor. And the first two gentlemen I'd like to honor are Dr. Jerry Lohberger and Fultondale firefighter, Mr. Chad Miller. Would y'all stand? Thank y'all. So in early October, there was a softball tournament taking place at our Hoovers. An umpire experienced a cardiac arrest, heart attack on the field. Dr. Lohberger and firefighter Miller were both coaching during that game, and when they noticed the medical emergency that was taking place, that one of the umpires had suddenly collapsed, with just in mere seconds they jumped up and ran over and started tending to this gentleman. They quickly assessed that he had stopped breathing, and they began CPR, and thanks to their quick action of these two men and several others standing by, they were able to save the umpire's life. Gentlemen, we want to thank you both for not only serving in your respective professions, but also for being great members of our community by serving as coaches. Thank you also for your selfless act to help save a life. Thank you so much. City school bus system, and on November the 5th, he helped perform a heroic act that helped save the life of one of his students. That afternoon, he had just started his route when several of the students alerted him that he breathed. He quickly pulled off the road, ran to the student, and performed the Heimlich maneuver 4 times, which eventually caused the young man to breathe again. Greg says this type of action is something that he's trained for repeatedly, for which he is very, very glad, and so are we. Greg, thank you for your quick action that helped save the life of this young student. And Mr. Ira LaVine, he certainly would have been here, but unfortunately he could not be with us today because he's undergoing surgery. But he is in no doubt a familiar name and face to many of you here today. Ira served as a leader in our business community for several years. He's been a member of the Hoover Chamber for 30 years and served on the board of directors, and just an avid promoter of businesses in our city and the surrounding area. Ira has been a stalwart in our community, openly sharing his knowledge and experience with others, and always with the goal of helping Hoover grow and be the best that we can be. We want to thank him for his exemplary service over the years and say a heartfelt thank you as he enters into his retirement. So about a month ago, we were thick in the Christmas holiday seasons. This is a holiday our nation celebrated from our very beginning. But no matter how our fast-paced world changes, one thing that still holds strong, and that's our Christmas traditions every year: the tree, the music, the presents, the food, time with family, all of those traditions, things that we are just grounded in, strong tradition that we've established over the years. And we also recognize the need to balance that tradition with transformation. We're holding on to those things that served as a secure foundation while also using that foundation to catapult us into the future. And one of those traditions is our excellence in public safety. Our police, our fire, our 911 center do an outstanding job on every single front. For example, in 2024, our police department saw a nearly 10% decrease in the total number of offenses. Our fire department responded to more than 360 fire calls and treated more than 10,000 patients, transporting 5,000 patients to area hospitals throughout the metro area. Our 911 center made and received over 1.4 million radio transmissions. Many of those conversations resulted in life-saving measures. The strong tradition of our public safety department has positioned them for positive transformation. Our 911 center is working to get accredited in 2025. They will join our Hoover Police and Fire Department that are both already accredited agencies. Our fire department will open from the original Fire Station 1 in the Green Valley area, which is where our city actually began. And, you know, I might just go ahead and add, one of the guys that built that fire station by the volunteers, the volunteer fire, he's here today, Mayor Frank Skinner. Stand up, Mayor. One specific way our police department is balancing the strong tradition of crime fighting with transformation is with drones. The department has a total of 15 drones that it currently uses, and one of the coolest is the fact that it acts as a first responder. It's really kind of incredible. 4 of the ground units arrive and to provide first responders with initial information with a bird's eye view of that incident. A police officer, drone pilot, works a regular shift in the Flight Operations Center located at City Hall. From that office, he has the ability to fly both police and fire calls for service and launch the drone from a dock located on the roof of City Hall. To fly in this manner, a waiver had to be obtained from the FAA. The police department obtained a certificate of authorization for a beyond visual line of sight waiver. And this waiver allows the drone to fly within 3-mile radius of City Hall. This setup allows the live video feed to be streamed back to the dispatch center, a command post, or even down to the individual cell phones of the officers. The drone also has a regular camera and a forward-looking infrared. We have recently used the forward-looking infrared camera on brush fires and apartment fires. With live stream being sent to the battalion chiefs, you can see drones have been incorporated into our everyday operation for public safety, and I want to just share a bit of technology that we've invested in to help assist our officers. This technology is out there to help fight crime, and that has a great deal to do with why our city is so safe. You know, I was at the Big Ten meeting this past 2 weeks ago, and all the 10 largest cities were there. Tuscaloosa and the city of Hoover, the only two that have this technology and have made this type of commitment. So I think it's pretty cool that we have that for our city. So with that, I would ask our public safety folks to stand up. Chief Durzis, Chief Bentley, and Director Moore. Please stand up if you would. Just as our public safety teams have built a foundation of trust, our schools have built a tradition of excellence that continues to soar. In November, the Hoover City School System received its highest ever state report card, an impressive grade of 95. That achievement places our district in the top 8.5% of state scores. We love the fact of our diversity in the nearly 35 languages that are spoken in our schools each and every year. Our English learner proficiency rate grew by 7%. Our graduation rate improved to 97%. And that's just a few of the achievements the system obtained this year. I want to commend our superintendent, Dr. Kevin Maddox, the board, the entire board, our school, the student body, the faculty, and the staff on a job well done. Please stand if you would. No doubt another city. We try to find various ways to improve those neighborhoods and the overall quality of life each and every day. For example, last year we added nearly 4,000 feet of new sidewalks. We're adding more this year. Our Hoover Library obtained a bookmobile that can go out into the neighborhood and take those services out into the community. And then there are our wonderful parks, some 33 parks, big and small, located all throughout the city. Our Park and Recreation Department celebrated a number of major accomplishments, including new parking, new benches, fresh sod, a safer landscaping at Russet Woods Park, a completed canoe launching at Fleming Park, a new Lock Haven Park saw trail expansions, and 11 athletic fields were upgraded with synthetic turf for year-round play. The Hoover Met improved the entrance, the parking, the facilities, while new bathrooms were added at Hoover Central. Additional upgrades including playground repairs, park improvements, deep cleaning, and new event furniture. It just reflects our commitment to creating a welcoming, accessible, and engaging space for our community. Thank you to Aaron Colball and all of the park board members that have made this possible. Aaron, please stand if you're here. Our neighborhoods are the heart of Hoover, and they are complemented by the strong pulse of the economic vitality seen in our thriving business community. Our draw to open new businesses remains strong in our city. This year, nearly 170 businesses joined the Chamber of Commerce, bringing the Chamber's total to roughly 870 members. The Chamber also held over 40 ribbon-cutting events, most of which I attended. And it's always a treat to see these new businesses open in our city and to celebrate with the excitement of all those new owners. In last year, and we were fortunate to have several economic development announcements in 2024. I'd like to highlight just a few of them. Barge Design Solutions moved into Meadowbrook Corporate Park in October, increasing the STEM business jobs around the 280 corridor. Hoover-based OHD, or Occupational Health Dynamics, grew from its location along Highway 150 and relocated its expanded location to the Meadowbrook Corporate Park. The Heights in Inverness was announced in May. Now, this is a mixed-use development that will occupy part of the old Southern Company space in Inverness. I'm optimistic that it will bring new residents, new jobs, and vibrancy to the area. Also in Inverness, Bassmasters moved its new corporate natural asset out there in Inverness. And certainly, the biggest announcement I think that we could have ever made was that of Trader Joe's, which will be locating at, go ahead. I thought on my campaign I would just get a sign and hold it and say, "I got you, Trader Joe's." So anyhow, this much anticipated retailer is projected to open in the second quarter of 2025, and it will bring new life to the former Bed Bath & Beyond store and the entire area. The developer also has additional plans for this shopping center. So all of this just kind of goes to show that people are starting their businesses in Hoover, building and expanding their businesses in Hoover, and we are helping here. The Hoover Met, since its opening in 1988, the Hoover Met has been a cornerstone of growth opportunity for our city. Originally home to the Birmingham Barons, the Met hosted countless exciting moments, including the unforgettable era when Michael Jordan took the field. When the Barons relocated downtown, many feared it would be a major loss for Hoover, but the reality was quite the opposite. It was a win for both cities. About 4 years ago, after their departure, Hoover leaders transformed the Met complex into an even greater asset, elevating Hoover's ability to host large-scale events like the SEC tournament. In August, that ensures the tournament will remain in Hoover through at least 2028, with an option to extend it to 2030. This tradition not only brings excitement and economic benefit to our city, but it also reinforces Hoover's reputation as a premier destination for sports and events. To sustain this success, we committed to significant upgrades at the Met. Over the last 3 years, we've invested $23 million in renovations, including modernizing our locker rooms, a new media room, repaved the parking lot, upgraded lighting, a redesigned main entrance. Currently, we're completing an additional enhancement such as renovating the third base club level, replacing all chairback seating, and revamping the concourse. These improvements are essential to keep the Hoover Met competitive and appealing for visitors and events alike. The SEC baseball tournament grows in size and stature every year. We set a record last year with 180,000 participants. While we celebrate its rich history in Hoover, we know there are many cities eager to host this prestigious event. That's why we remain focused on not just maintaining but transforming the Met to meet the needs of today and tomorrow. We are committed to ensuring the Met continues to be a catalyst for growth, a source of pride for our community, and a shining example of Hoover's ability to balance tradition with transformation. I can't thank our Alabama legislature, our Jefferson County and Shelby County delegation enough for their hard work and investment in helping us secure the SEC contract. And with that, for the last 16 years, Hoover has served as home to a one-of-a-kind facility that serves our nation, the National Computer Forensic Institute, or NCFI. It serves as the country's premier law enforcement training facility in cyber and electronic crime forensics. Every year, more than 5,000 state, local law enforcement officials, judges, prosecutors, and all new Secret Service agents, they must come to Hoover, Alabama to learn how to investigate cybercrime, how to present it, and decipher that evidence in court. This facility is housed at our Public Safety Center. It started out in one section on the second floor. A couple of years ago, it expanded to a few more spaces in the building. Now, thanks to a $23 million grant, it will grow to an even more. It will even more grow to three more classrooms, 250-person auditorium, and 20 administrative offices. Now, this will allow the NCFI to go year to serving over 10,000 students every year. There are many cities across the U.S. that would love to call this facility home, and we're thrilled they've chosen to stay right here in Hoover, Alabama. Another project that allows us to balance tradition with transformation is the addition of Exit 9 off of Interstate 459. It's no secret that the population in our city has exploded in the last 50 years. For the most part, we've managed to hold on to our small town feel, but the growth is undeniable and requires that we make changes so that it does not overtake us. One way, the new interchange. The design of the interchange is something that is somewhat new for our state. It's called a diverging diamond, and the design of it is approximately 60% complete. The cost of the project is $120 million, and we are splitting that cost with ALDOT. We are currently on schedule to have ALDOT open bids sometime later this summer, and once completed, the anticipated building time is somewhere between 2 and 3 years, and this will be a huge benefit for our city. So as we continue down the path of transformation, it's important that we not just seek progress, but with a purpose. Riverwalk. One area in which we are striving to do that is through addressing our vacant office parks. The days of filling large office buildings with employees has become a challenge. Allowing these buildings to sit empty is something we cannot afford to do. So it's forced us to get creative and to think outside of the box on ways to resurrect these spaces in a way that is valuable and purposeful. That is part of the impetus behind the creation of a mixed-use community that will be located in River Chase. It will focus on health and wellness and will include state-of-the-art medical facilities, residential spaces, and amenities with retail amenities and extensive trails and green spaces. One of the larger components will be a full-service healthcare facility located in the existing South Tower on the Regions campus. And inside that facility will be an ambulatory care center and a diagnostic center that the city will ultimately manage through the Hoover Healthcare Authority. Though we face some major and, in my opinion, very unnecessary hurdles intended to damage our product, we were ultimately successful in gaining approval of a certificate of need. Very few cities have a healthcare authority such as the one we have, and even fewer have obtained that certificate of need. That is a feat within itself. But by retaining ownership of the CON, the healthcare authority, and thereby the city, can look at the market of providers and select the best ones that are available. But not only will Riverwalk spur development within this 90-acre campus, we're focused on leveraging it to grow our life sciences and related industries to create more high-paying jobs in Hoover. River Chase is already home to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, BioLife, BioChrist, and BioHorizons. I believe River Chase can be home to more companies like these fabulous corporate citizens. The hurdles we faced with Riverwalk taught us valuable lessons about perseverance and collaboration, and we emerged stronger and more united in our vision for this transformative project. Can you imagine the energy of Riverwalk Village? Families enjoying green spaces, businesses thriving, and a state-of-the-art medical facility serving our community. What will it mean for our children and grandchildren to inherit a city that has been thoughtfully planned for their success? Like malls across the nation, the Galleria faces many challenges, many challenges. But we see these challenges as opportunities for reinvention and we are working closely with property owners to ensure its future success. Whether it's shopping for groceries, clothing, home decor, these days you can just get just about anything you want off of the internet. And while the convenience is great, the reality is it's hurting malls, not just in Hoover but throughout the country. Fortunately for us, the Galleria Mall is thriving, but we also realize the need for change, and there needs to be a change on that property. The challenge that we've been faced with over the years, though, is that the Galleria is owned by at least 8 different entities, and the challenge has been getting them all together to discuss and share what the future looks like for the Galleria. So in an effort to help us figure out this definitive direction and the most viable option, we will do a market assessment study of the Galleria in 2025. Now, that study will evaluate various factors such as the potential for redevelopment, the current market conditions, and it will provide recommendations for revitalizing the property. Fortunately, we've got the owners of the Galleria on board, and we are very hopeful that this will provide some helpful insight in blazing a path forward. And of course, all of this costs money, but the goal is not just to have progress, but progress with a purpose. Every year I visit our schools and I talk with our students. At the elementary level, they're excited about learning, but I've talked to many that by the time they reach high school, they speak about leaving our city, going to what they believe are greener pastures. But if you look at Hoover for the past year, we've received numerous national accolades, making it a top of so many different lists, most recently being named the 7th best city to live in the South by the national publication USA Today. And let's not forget, our own Miss Hoover became Miss Alabama, who is now Miss Abby Stoddard, Miss America. We're very, very proud of that. It's a great place to live, to raise your children. It's a great place to work. The ingredients here, definitely are here, but we've got to combine them in a way that makes them attractive to future generations so that they will all want to stay in the city of Hoover. And not just stay, but to see the community thrive. The reality is the greatest successes of projects like Riverwalk Village, like a revitalization of the Galleria, our generation won't see them to the fullest. It's our children, it's our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren who will reap the benefits of all of this. We're doing this for them. They are the purpose behind our progress, but the question is to do the same for those coming behind us. There's a quote that says, "A great purpose of life is to live it for something that will last longer than you. Let's work together to build that future generations will be proud to call home. Let's serve, let's grow it in a way that will last longer than ourselves." Thank you for the privilege of being the mayor of City of Hoover. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Mayor Brado. We're all very fortunate to live here in the city of Hoover. So on behalf of the Chamber, the leadership, members, and the residents of Hoover, I would like to thank Mayor Brado, the City Council, City Administrator Ken Grimes, and all the public safety departments, and all those who make Hoover a great place we are proud to call home. Thank you for all you do to make Hoover a great place to live, work, and thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have an applause for the entire city leadership, please? At this time, we would like to conduct some chamber business. At first, I'd like to acknowledge our outgoing board member, Shannon Driver from Gagliano Mortgage. Shannon, are you here today? I don't think Shannon's here, but we would like to appreciate her services. All right, moving on to nomination approval and induction of the 2025 Board of Directors. I'm pleased to announce the list of Board of Directors for the 2025 Board and the Executive Board as recommended by the Nomination Committee and sent out by email. The slate of officers for 2025. 2025 Chair, Kimberly L. Jackson, Alabama Power. First Vice Chair, Sanjay Patel from Barron Hospitality. Second Vice Chair, Jonathan Carter, PNC. Vice Chair of Administration, Kimberly Stalling, UAB, St. Vincent's. Vice Chair of Finance, Keith Barfield, BMSS. Immediate past Chair, yours truly, Robin Porbanderwala with Lakecrest Chevron. Board of Directors, Kelvin Johnson, Spire Energy. Tyler Lipe, Regions Financial. Vivian Mora, State Farm Insurance Mora Agency. Corey Perdue, PhD, UAB Collab School of Business. James Robinson, retired businessman. Tyler Williams, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. Merrick Wilson, Hoover City Schools. Ex officio Board of Directors, Aaron Detling, Legal Advisor, Fortiff Law Partners, LLC. Greg Knighton, City of Hoover Liaison. And Derek Murphy, Hoover City Council Liaison. So pursuant to the bylaws of the Chamber, I hereby notify the Chamber members here today in good standing that we have a quorum to vote to confirm the board, Chamber Board, and Executive Board for 2025. Names of other members may be placed in the nomination from the floor for the election of officers and the board. Are there any nominations from the floor? All right, hearing none, nominations are closed. The 2025 Board of Directors. Now I will call for the vote. All in favor of the slate presented today to serve as 2025 officers and Board of Directors for the Hoover Area Chamber of Commerce, please say aye. All opposed say nay. All right, the ayes have it, and we have a 2025 board in place. Thank you. At this time, I would like to request Mayor Brocado please come back on stage to help me with to pin our new officers and board members. I would also like our board members whose names I just read out to please come up and get the pins from Mayor Brocado.